Okay, so now that we wrote out everything and plugged in all the different r's, we can now start simplifying. So I use Pascal's pyramid to get my answers faster, but you do not have to use it. But it's just sometimes it's easier. So I am going to have 5 above 0 is 1. 2x to the 5th. Now when you do this, you're going to do both 2 to the 5th and x to the 5th. So 2 to the 5th is 32, x to the 5th. Negative y to the 0 is just 1. Anything the 0 power is 1. Plus 5 above 1 is 5. 2x to the 4th is going to be 16x to the 4th because 2 to the 4th is 16 and x to the 4th is just x to the 4th. Now negative y to the 1st is just negative y. Now 5 above 2 was 10. 2x to the 3rd is really 8x to the 3rd. Now negative y squared, it's negative y times negative y. So now it's positive y squared. A lot of people tend to forget to put the power with the variable. And also they forget when it's negatives. If it's an even power, it's positive. If it's an odd power, it's negative. 5 above 3 is 10. 2x squared is 4x squared. Negative y to the 3rd is negative y to the 3rd because it's an odd power. Plus 5 above 4 is 5. 2x to the 1st is just 2x. Negative y to the 4th is positive y to the 4th. Plus 5 above 5 is 1. 2x to the 0 is 1. Negative 5 to the 5th. Negative y to the 5th is negative y to the 5th. So now I just got to multiply all these so that I have each term. So my first term is going to be 32x to the 5th. Now, it's 5 times 16 times technically negative 1, right? So it's 5 times 16 is 80 times negative 1 is negative 80 x to the 4th y. Keep it in alphabetical order. That's usually just what you'll see more. Now, next we have 10 times 8, which is 80. And there was no negative, so we don't have to worry about that. X to the 3rd, y squared. Now 10 times 4 times technically negative 1 is negative 40. X squared y to the cubed. Well, y to the 3rd. I don't know why I said y to the cubed. Then we have 5 times 2, which is 10. X and then y to the 4th. You could put x to the 1st if you want, but you don't have to. And then 1 times negative y to the 5th is going to be negative y to the 5th. So all of this is actually what 2x minus y to the 5th power would be. Now, what I personally am going to give you, I don't plan to give you any power higher than 5 to do all this binomial expansion for. Okay, don't worry, we're not going to go past 5. Now, what I'd like you to do, pause the video, try out checkpoint 2. All right. So, for x plus 1 to the 4th, we should have gotten an answer of, x to the 4th plus 8x cubed plus 24x squared plus 32x plus 16. If you look in the OneNote, you will see all the work for this problem. Now what I'd like you to do is try checkpoint 3. Okay, I hope you paused the video and tried it on your own because you are all capable of doing this and getting it right. You are all going to be successful with this, I promise you, even though it doesn't seem like it now. So your answer we should have got for this should have been x to the 5th minus 10x to the 4th y plus 40x cubed y squared minus 80 x squared y cubed plus 80x y to the 4th minus 32y to the 5th. Let me check that. So x to the 5th minus 10x to the 4th y plus 40x cubed y squared minus 80x squared y cubed plus 80xy to the fourth minus 32y to the fifth. Perfect. Again, if you check the OneNote, all of the work for this problem will be there. Okay. Now, where I can't promise your n will be, like, I could give you an n of 8 or 9, but I may just ask you to find a particular term in the binomial expansion. So, basically, you're just going to do what we did for the binomial expansion, the n above r, a to the n minus r power, b to the r power. But we're only going to do it for one specific term, okay? Now, specifically, whatever term you're trying to find, your r is 1 less than that term. So if you're looking for the fifth term, your r is 4. If you want the ninth term, your r is 8. If you want the first term, your r is 0, and so on and so forth, okay? Because you got to think the first r we have to use is 0. We start at 0 and end when our n and r are the same. So if I ask you to find the fourth term, so that means your r is 3. For the expansion, 3x plus 2y to the 7th power. Now your a is still the first term, your b is still the second term, and your n is still the power. Okay? So to find the fourth term, I'm just going to do what I did before. I'm going to do my n above r, so 7 above 3. A, my first term, to the 7 minus 3 power. Then my b, 2y, to the r power. So 7 above 3, you may want to do that in your calculator, 7c3. All right, you will get 35. So it's going to be 35 times, now 7 minus 3 is 4. So 3 to the fourth is 81, and x to the fourth we just leave as x to the fourth. 2y to the third is going to be 8y to the third. So now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply all this together to have our fourth term. I don't want all the terms, the whole answer. I just want to know the specific term within this expansion. So 35 times 81 times 8 will give me 22,680. And then I just leave x to the fourth, y to the third. You know you did this right if all your your variables exponents add up to your n. So 4 and 3, that's 7. We're good. Now, so basically same thing. It's just now we're only finding one specific term. Whatever term we want, that is, your r is 1 less. So I want you to pause and try out the last problem. Okay, so to find the fifth term, so that means your r is 4 for the expansion, 2x plus y to the 9th power. So my first term is 2x, my second term is positive y, and my power is 9. So to find my fifth term, I'm going to do 9 above 4, 2x to the 9 minus 4 power, which is 5, and y to the 4th power. Now if I do 9c4, okay, you could write out, the more you write out of the rows for the Pascal's pyramid, you will still get all your answers. But if you want to just, it's one term, just skip and do it in your calculator, do so. You're going to get 126. So I'm going to have 126. Ooh, why did I write 168? 126 times 2x to the 5th is going to be 32x to the 5th and y to the 4th. So 126 times 32 is 4,032. X to the 5th, y to the 4th. So the fifth term, if in this full answer of 2x plus y to the 9th, would be 4,032, x to the 5th, y to the 4th. All right. Any questions? You message me on Schoology. You email me. You message me on Instagram with my new Instagram page, okay? Just get in contact with me. Okay, there's no reason you guys should struggle on your own. You reach out to me, all right? Best of luck. Enjoy homework 10.5.